first topic. There we go. First topic. So, WNBA has been going back and forth with this whole cash cow of rage baiting, if you will. This whole thing with Caitlin Clark and Angela Reese. My question is it genuine beef? Is it the next Larry versus Bird, or is this like a manipulated kind of machine just to get us to tune in and to pump more money into this rage baiting machine? What do you guys think about that? What you said you had some thoughts on this, Rob? What do you ultimately think about what's going on? Have you been watching all these?
I haven't been keeping up with it very much, but it doesn't take a lot to do a quick, search, and all you see is pop up of, flagrant, fouling or whatever, and it pops up. You can tell that there's definitely some rage baiting and media push, far attention to this subject. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Hard to say. If it impacts, any of the athletes' lives in a negative way significantly, I would say that's bad.
Yeah.
And if the media, pushes towards that direction, that is definitely not a good thing, and I wouldn't want to see that. Is it, the competition side of it and drawing attention to the sport is in my mind, is a great thing.
Yeah.
It brings some revenue. It brings attention to the sport. It's a contact sport, guys.
Yeah.
So the fouling thing is like, okay, no surprise there.
You're right.
It is what it is.
What about you, Jordan? What do you think about all this attention that the WNBA is getting?
I mean, I think probably like with pretty much anything that's a hot topic, it starts accidentally, innocently, whatever, it happens. But once the media sees the attention that the one or two just incidental times happens, then it's like, well, let's keep pointing it out. Let's keep talking about it. Let's keep making scenarios there that don't exist because everyone wants to talk about it. And so then they just keep focusing on it. And,
the thing that gets me, that if what people don't realize is that it doesn't take away with talent and everything like that. I mean, but all these athletes, all these the everybody. I mean, you don't get into the league unless you got some skill. But doing a little bit of research on it, when Caitlin Clark, and I have my opinions about Caitlin Clark and her ability. Before she even got in the league, I said she's a great shooter. She's going to put up numbers. Hell, they can go into the playoffs. For all we know, they could win, but she's not going to. Everybody kept putting it on her that she was going to dominate, like from day one, and I knew that wasn't fair for her because it wasn't going to happen. I mean, I don't care if you're a high school football team. If you're the New Orleans Saints challenging the local high school team, and you're guaranteeing a victory, that high school team's going to play their asses off. They're going to try to destroy. You're not going to just talk crap coming in. So I feel like all the people that were hyping her up before she even got in there, she's going to come in and dominate. All those other athletes were like, nuh-uh. Like, I'm a professional. Like this, like we don't let any rookie. It reminds me of the Matrix. Remember when Keanu was about to do that first jump? Even though he was the one, wasn't going to make that jump. No one makes the jump the first time.
No one makes it the first time.
Nobody. And that's what I was thinking the whole time when they kept putting that pressure on her. She's going to come in, she's going to score 50 points every game, and she's going to go undefeated. It took 4 or 5 weeks for them, their first games before the Fever even got their first victory. And everything, and it just kept piling on the excuses I'm like, stop trying to overhype and trying to make this into what it's not. It's not a feud. There is no feud.
Well, some of it too is just when it comes to each and every sport, when you have super fans, they're going to be strong on their opinions. It's just like when people start talking about, oh, who's the greatest basketball player ever? And someone over here is like, oh, it's Michael Jordan. No one's ever going to beat that. And they're like, no, this one, LeBron, oh, Kobe. And then everybody's comparing, well, what about 1985, this player, against 1992, who's the best? And everyone's just arguing about.
No, the answer is Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark can beat them all.
So it's like you're just going to always have people who have their very strong opinions about who their favorite is, and you're not going to change their mind.
No.
It's their favorite, and they're going to stick behind them.
But
no matter what.
It's a pro league.
Yeah.
You don't get there without being able to execute consistently on a high level.
Right.
So,
But
you're with peers.
But that brings me to like when this all started. If you go to Google Trends, if you look to when this super focus with these new fans that are in the, and it's great that they're there now. A lot of the old hats are like, where were, I mean, like this league has always been great. And whether you want to put this emphasis on a player because they're black or they're white, there's been a bunch of great white players. Rebecca Lobo.
You're a new super fan because we haven't watched anything sports related. I mean, I watch football every year because I have fantasy leagues, but we don't watch anything else except for World Series if it involves the Astros and your WWE. But you have suddenly become WNBA's #1 fan of every game that's on. We got to watch.
I don't appreciate being called out. Okay. Maybe the hype is real. Maybe the hype is real.
We're not even watching regular NBA. We didn't want to watch the finals, but we got to watch WNBA.
All right. Full disclosure. I'm gonna lie. You guys, let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know if you've been doing this. I'm not against Caitlin Clark, but I am against overhypeness. And it's not her fault. She might become the greatest player to ever touch the ball. But to put that much on it, I don't like celebrity worshiping. I can't stand it. Like until she's actually done it. Because every time she shoots for the three and misses, I'm gonna remind you that she never won it in college. I'm just gonna do it because I like to just piss people off. So all these people that like to just overhype anybody, I don't care if it's Caitlin Clark, I don't care if it's Angela Reese. If you start overhyping anybody, it's gonna turn me off, and I'm gonna immediately go to the opposition side. And you're like, well, she never got a ring. And that's why I put this picture up right here. If you go to Google Trends, if you look at when Caitlin Clark's popularity really started and when she became the most searched athlete in the WNBA on Google, it was this moment when Angela Reese taunted her and got in her face. After that happened, this flood of support for Caitlin Clark just came out of nowhere, and they're still there. And that's where this money is all coming from. To me, they're still fair weather fans, but it's still good for the WNBA. This wrestling, like you brought up wrestling, this wrestling like storyline of the good guy bagger, who's the fan favorite, who's the real MVP, who's this. It's good for the money, but is it good for them personally? Like, what do you?
Well, some of it's just a female thing because we don't really make as big a deal.
See, I say we didn't say it. Me and Rob didn't say it. That was Joy. Joy said it.
They don't make as big a deal when it comes to the guys who do the same. In the basketball,
you always fuse.
You've got your ones that are, shaking their finger and like, you can't beat me, and football, basketball, and everything, and we're all just like, yeah, that's right, not in my house.
Well, girls can't.
But over here, we're like, wow,
girls never get along.
How rude! How rude is that?
That's what Rob said, right, Rob?
What an attitude she has! What an attitude she has!
All right.
How nasty is that? How mean? Like, okay, well, the guys do it all the time, and y'all are over there pumping them up like, yeah, that's right. You tell them.
Yeah.
You tell them whose house it is.
Because when we do it, it's passion. When women do it, it's never mind. Well, what was,
like,
I'm trying to throw Rob on the boat. What was that again?
I think all of this is part of the game.
Yeah.
It is part of the game. It has been, since the beginning. And I think the attention, that's bringing to them can be positive and can be, can be beneficial to the industry.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it. You know, it's brought it into the limelight, and people are talking about it, and that's what you want.
And another thing, guys, that like this whole thing is manipulation, mostly by the media, because they know it's what and the WNBA they want that because it's putting butts in the seats.
I said they're getting the seats filled.
They're getting the seats filled.
People are watching.
I say it all the time. I say it all the time on this channel. Those rage bait YouTube channels that I always talk about. We're gonna talk about the acolyte later, right? About how everything is woke or everything is. If the internet god, I say this all the time. If the internet gods, the TikTok gods or whatever, would come down and say, Chris, you would get 1 million followers. And if you haven't hit the follow button right now. Appreciate it. If you get 1 million followers tomorrow, if you just become the biggest Chris Hemsworth hater of all time, I would make him cry using my words every day. But until you give me that guarantee, I'm not gonna become that grifter. Being a grifter is just exhausting to me. I just don't have the time for it. I don't have that kind of hate in my heart. I'm like, I don't. But if you guaranteed the money, I could be persuaded. But like these, they're not enemies. They may not be best friends. They may never be best friends. But they don't hate each other. All this stuff is what the people in the comment section are. People in whatever thread it is, and whether it's Twitter or TikTok, whatever it is, it's always somebody saying something disgusting or something about that. But guys, let us know what you guys think about this whole manipulated feud that's going on between Clark and Reese, and send your prayers out there to Brink, because she just got hurt and she's out for the year out from the spark, and she's my favorite. It's not Clark, it's not Reese. It's Brink. No, it's Plum. That's my girl.
Plum.
It's Plum all day. You don't know who Casey Plum is? Yeah, that's my. Who is your go-to WNBA player? Let us know in the box below, and let's keep talking. All right, let's move on to the next topic of the day. Before I get into that, guys, I want to remind you guys, you want to send a question, comment. I'm watching the chat, whether you're on Instagram, on TikTok, anything. I'm watching. All of it. But if you want to support the channel, go to streamlabs.com/T3Media Studios/tips. That's one way you can do it. You can do a super chat on YouTube, or go if you're on TikTok. Tap that screen. You're not obligated to it, but help us out. Help boost the channel and get some eyes on this show as we keep rolling. Thank you guys for watching our video. I really do appreciate it. Remember, you can support our show by becoming a member or a Patreon. So click the subscribe button. Don't forget to ring the bell for notifications so you'll never miss out on when we go live or post new content. Let's stay connected, grow this community together. Like, subscribe, comment, and let's keep talking.